Well, mounting costs in this wildfire fight have state lawmakers looking for funding.
It's long been a hands-off topic at the Capitol, but the state's rainy day fund might now be back in play. Our political reporter Josh Hinkle here live with a look at that possibility.
Well, first off, let's look at the cost for homeowners and business owners. Since Labor Day weekend, we're looking at an insurance hit for the entire state of $250 million. For Bastrop County alone, that number's $150 million. But those numbers could be a lot higher if it wasn't for the efforts to fight these fires, something that's starting to add up itself. Federal funds are something Governor Rick Perry's been requesting for months. In the spring, after the West Texas fires,
federal government needs to respond and respond quickly.
And now with what's still burning in Central Texas.
I full well expect the federal government to come in to do their part.
The Texas Forest Service says the cost to fight these fires is now more than $60 million. State money that agency and other responders just don't have.
Texas has a rainy day fund, and certainly the extreme wildfire conditions across Texas, I think, are pretty important to say that we need help.
It's something the governor brought up after this year's tsunami and earthquake in Japan, when other groups wanted to use part of the $6.4 billion rainy day fund for a severely slashed education budget.
Release the rainy day fund.
Use the rainy day fund.
Perry said, one of the things that I remind people and why it's so important to protect that rainy day fund is that it is our insurance policy against a major natural disaster. That fund was one of the biggest arguments of the last legislative session.
To approve use of the rainy day fund?
I think at the end of the day, it's just not going to happen.
I am so angry at what y'all are doing.
However, a group of Democratic lawmakers have sent a letter to the governor saying, you alone have the power to call a special session for the purpose of accessing rainy day fund money to battle the fires raging across Texas. But Perry's office now says we can't budget for that ahead of time. We need to know how much the federal government will reimburse as well. The rainy day fund is definitely a backup and an option. So it looks like any extra funding might have to come in the 2013 regular legislative session, a weight those lawmakers say state and local agencies won't be able to afford. Asking for repayment in a future session has worked in the past, but the state's also never had such a big budget shortfall. One other option is the $49 million disaster contingency fund, but again, the governor has control of that one too. In the studio, Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.